What's up guys, Magic Knife's here, and in today's video I'm bringing to you some Modern Warfare 2 knife only gameplay. It has been a while since I've brought any knife only gameplays to this channel, but you know what, I ran out of gun gameplays, and you know, I saved up a couple knife only gameplays for this exact situation. And it's not that I don't like knifing in this game, but I have a lot of fun just gunning now, honestly, in the Modern Warfare games. Modern Warfare 1 was like this, and Modern Warfare 2 is like this too. Especially now that the intervention is in the game, I've had so much fun just running with that, as well as a lot of the other just guns in general. But yeah, this knife only gameplay is the last knife only gameplay that I run with the combat knife. From here on out, I managed to get the dual Kodachis, which I'm so glad they brought those back. Those were super fun to run around a knife with, even though you are slower to run around with the dual Kodachis. You get a much longer reach and range with them, so I definitely think they're a much better knifing tool to use compared to the combat knife, in my opinion. Even though you're a little bit slower with them, I think the range definitely makes up for that. So yeah, something for you to look forward to in the future whenever I do bring another knife only gameplay to you guys. So yeah, in the meantime, in a previous commentary about a month or so ago, I talked to you guys about how I recently applied for Brinks to become an armed security guard, and talk about how the interview process goes. If you haven't seen it, I will leave a link in the description so you can watch that video if you're wanting to get an insight of what the interview process is like, as well as some of the basic qualifications that you'll need, which, I mean, just in a nutshell for you guys, you do need your firearms license if you are in Canada. So I'm talking as a Canadian here, as well as, yeah, within Ontario. So you do need your G driver's license, right? And yeah, some basic experience of, you know, whether it's in law enforcement or security, or in my case military background, or even just basic experience or background with firearms, right? So I mean, there's one guy that was in my training. He was a range officer at a gun range, so that alone was, you know, a good candidate, right? So, you know, you're familiar with firearms and stuff, like that stuff's important, right? So being able to be comfortable around firearms and being able to drive well, those are the basic things that you should already have in your background or on your resume. So yeah, law enforcement, military background, security background, or just firearms experience or firearms related work, you know. So yeah, now as far as the training goes, now again, I'm speaking from what I've experienced in Canada. If you're in the States, it might be a little different for you, especially with how they go about protocols and you know, just policies and such. But yeah, so my training, the training in Canada or in Ontario, it's about a week and a half long. So the first week, it's 5 days, Monday to Friday, all focused on your responsibilities and role as an armed guard, as well as just shooting in general, right? So the first week, it's mainly about shooting and understanding what your responsibilities and all that stuff. So yeah, so in Canada, Brinks uses an MMP40 pistol currently. Other armed guard companies are going to be different. You know, you got Garda World, and, you know, I think Loomis, and all these other companies, Valguard, they'll use different standard pistols, right? You'll have most of these companies, I believe, you will use a 40 caliber pistol of sorts. So I know Valguard, which was another company that I tried applying for a year back, they use Glock 22, which, I mean, I'm personally more of a Glock 22 or a Glock. I'm like more of a Glock person now. So when I first came into Brinks for the interview and saw everybody with MW40s, I was kind of disappointed, but you know, once we got into shooting, I got used to it, so it wasn't a big deal. So, but yeah, first week, like I said, it's all about, like, you know, written stuff, you know, understanding your do's and don'ts, and you know, understanding your firearms. So then on the third day was where we got to do some shooting. It was literally my first time in like 5 or 6 years that I last shot a pistol, a real steel pistol. I shot a rifle when I was in the army for, I think it was back like 3 years ago. I haven't shot real steel since then. But either way, with all my airsoft training, it really helped me. You know, even despite the, you know, not being used to the recoil for a long time, I got it down pat. Like, just, and I told the guys that were in the training with me, you know, if you haven't shot before, like, just get an airsoft pistol and use that as your training tool, because that's literally all I needed to get better at it, right? I mean, you see the video with Liku and T-Rex arms, like, that's all you really need. And so yeah, you'll do your shooting and you'll have to pass like with a 45, at least a 45 out of 50 within the A and C zone of the target. And then on the 5th day, you have a written test, which, I mean, you really should study for, okay? Because it's important to know all that stuff. And then the second week, which is a week and a half, it's just 3 days, and it's all focused on the driving portion. So, you know, understanding the armored truck, knowing the ins and outs of it, some written tests, which are pretty simple and straightforward, and just knowing the procedures of getting in and out of the armored truck, whether you're the guard or the messenger, just stuff like that, really, you know. So that's pretty much the breakdown of the training. Again, really not much to it, but you know, the more you know, the better, right? If you're looking to get into this kind of line of work. And yeah, I'll fill in some more, you know, info down the road in the future if I can, but hopefully that helps in some level. Hope you enjoy the gameplay and the commentary. Hope to see you guys in my future videos, and until next time, peace out, guys.